Here's another pointed question. Thankfully, GMs in this league are seeing an uptick in their salaries. We have been in a spot for a while that was kind of in a holding point. Respectfully speaking to ownership, and obviously everyone's making very good money. We understand that, but there was a big uptick this year. It was interesting to see that, and that's good for everyone. It's good for the league, of course, just like the players. And Arthur Blank used to always talk about market value and how important that is. And thankfully to him over the years, he was always very mindful of that with me, which I appreciate. So good uptick, good movement. However, there is still a chasm, and it's a significant chasm between general manager salaries and head coaching salaries. Given today's world with general managers being out front and in the open, not behind the scenes anymore, they're not for long elements that they deal with are real, just like head coaches. Do you think that gap is justified in today's NFL?
I'll get to the gap in a minute. I do think head coaches definitely in our business earn the salaries they're fortunate to make, and especially when you've proven you can win and you get that second one, because the data says it, right? There's a lot of people hired, and only so many of that class of coaches, right, get to a next contract, because it's hard to win a football game in the NFL. So I think they deserve. I don't necessarily think. I would say, you know what, the gap is not justified, and especially with the model that's we're kind of utilizing today, which I think is a very healthy model, and that model being, hey, we're going to try to maybe hire a head coach and GM, at the same year or pretty close, and align them, and it's on them to win or lose. And we all know what's happened when you lose. So maybe in a previous generation, right, some of the GMs, it was more of a longer tenured, maybe you got a chance to hire two or a second or third head coach. So maybe because of that longer runway security, you could justify, okay, a lower salary because you may get more years and things like. But now we're getting to that model where, GM head coach may get 4 or 5 year deal and maybe 3 years to show enough progress to get to year 4 and 5. So I do think it was awesome to see it this year, especially for some of those GMs coming up, that we are progressing closer to the head coach. I don't know if we'll ever be equal, but I don't want to say they don't deserve what they're getting.
No, completely understand the deserving side of that. I just think when you're talking about $4, $5, $7, $10 million difference at times, that's complicated.
Yes.
Call it the way it is. I mean, people don't like to talk about it, but it's a legit discussion point.